So today I'm going to be teaching everyone how to do Incenter, and which is basically finding a point within a circle, within a triangle, that is the same distance from all three sides. And there are much more complicated ways to do this, but I'm going to show you a simplified way involving this equation. You see that? And basically you got to be plugging in the coordinate, the points, and the sides of the triangle. Alright, so first what you want to do is plot your 3 points and then find the slope of all 3 sides. I know some of you might be used to point slope intercept form, but there's also point slope form, which doesn't involve y-intercept. Right here is point slope form, and now once you have all of that, what you need to do is use the distance formula to find the distance of the 3 lines. And well, you can try doing that. Look at these, try doing it yourselves while I do it. So these are the answers, and you can see the color of the line is below the answer. Whereas this line would be square root 26, and if you can't, well, now you can't see the answer. The answer's in the gray box. Just take a moment to absorb that. And for this one, we'll be rounding up. For example, with square root 41, there's a much easier way to do that. 6.403. 6.43, which would be easier. Or if you want to do, or you can do 6.40, which is the same thing, but I prefer 6.43.
What should the name of this?
And here are the simplified versions. Again, they're below the color. So purple line, blue line, and green line. So now we're gonna take this equation. I'll give you a second to write that down and plug all of these things in. I can do that while I do that myself. Also, here's a tip if you're having difficulty pairing up points with lines. The points that are... So, you want to draw an imaginary straight line through a point, and the line that intersects with will be the line that you'll be corresponding with. For example, the point 17 would correspond with the purple line. See? 2, 3 green, and 6, 8 blue. And it doesn't matter which order you put these groups in, as long as they're properly grouped. So I did the math, and in case you can't read my writing, the first one would be 10.2, the second one would be 6.403, and the third one would be 24.738. I'm going to say it again. 10.2, 6.403, and 24.738. And since the bottom is the summary of the perimeter, adding all 3 perimeters together would give us 15.626. Now, if I'm going too fast for you, it's okay. You can pause, and it's fine. Whether you did this math on paper or on a calculator, if you might find the answer similar to mine. You'll find an x-coordinate is 2.65. And if you didn't get that, just look at this and check over your work. Now, and once you're done with that, move on to the y-coordinate, which is the same thing, but instead you use the y's. So now here's our y. Here's y, which would equal 5.96. If you can't read my handwriting, then the numbers are 15.3, 44.821, and 33.04. And if you have difficulty with big decimals, you can always round them up. And it's the same perimeter as last time, but with a different sum, giving us our giving us our center 2.65 and 5.96. Just give me a second to enter that. And this is what you should get. A point that is equally distant from all three sides. And now what you want to do is make a line that define the radius. Now this line has to be perpendicular with any of these three and has to align with our center. So I'll give you a second to do that. And in order to do a perpendicular line, all you need to do is take one of these slopes and flip it. For example, -4 would be 1/4, negative to positive, and positive to negative. Give you a second to do that. So there. And if you're having trouble making point slope form, all you have to do is take our center point and incorporate it. And now we have to figure out the distance between the point it intersects and the point here. And this will be the last time we use distance formula. Now, if you need the other point, here it is. Now, this may look big, but you can actually round it up to x is 2.39, and 7 is 2.3, and 7.3, and y is 7.3. Right? Just leave that there. I got a radius of 1.87 by using distance formula. And don't know what you got, but try it first and then try mine, because this is my first time. Well, I know how to do Incenter, but follow me. Now, the next step is our final step, and we'll do the circle formula, which is x minus x1 squared, or in our case, 2.65 squared. Hold on. Sorry if you can't see that. Plus y minus 5.96 squared equals our radius, which is 1.87 squared. And I did that wrong. Some miscalculations. Hold on. Give me a sec. But apparently, I was double squaring this. The answer is not actually 1.87 squared. It's the square root of 1.87, which you can help figure out, which you can use to figure out. And I suggest a calculator if you have one. But if you don't, you can always do it on paper. And I did it. And I just did it. And the answer should round out to about 1.37. So let's put that there. Squared. And now we have a perfect square. I hope you learned a lot today. And bye. And hope you learned.